Good morning, guys. Welcome to Life on Turkey Lane. I'm glad you've joined me this morning. We're getting ready to go to the small animal livestock auction, but first I need to start making some homemade yogurt, and so I thought I would bring you along. I'm going to show you two ways to make yogurt. They're both easy. You don't need, for one way, you don't need anything special. The other way, you would need an Instant Pot. But either way, you can make yogurt without anything special, and I will show you both ways on how to do that. So let me point you down here so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to start with the Instant Pot. I've got my Instant Pot out. And now, if you use an Instant Pot, they come automatically with two like rubber rings, sealing rings in there. I always use just the red one for yogurt, because if you use the other one for cooking like meat and different things like that, and you use it for yogurt, your yogurt is going to have probably not a good flavor, because these rings will kind of hold the fragrance of what you cooked in them. So I always use my red one. I save my red one just for yogurt. And so I've opened my Instant Pot now. You might think, why would you make your own yogurt when you can buy it for relatively cheap at the store? And it's because I'm going to tell you, first of all, my homemade yogurt, I don't know about if anybody else's, but the homemade yogurt, gotta plug up my Instant Pot here. The homemade yogurt, I think tastes better. It's smoother, it tastes better. And also it doesn't have the chemicals in it that the yogurt you buy at the store is not made with just milk and stuff. It's got like preservatives in it and things. So you don't need those. And yogurt is super easy to make, and a lot cheaper even than what you could buy it at the store. So for the Instant Pot and with any yogurt, you just need a couple ingredients. Really, you just need milk and some yogurt starter. Let me get my yogurt starter out of the fridge. And now you might be thinking, well, where would I get yogurt starter? Because I don't have any of that. And yogurt starter, all it is live active cultures, which is what your milk needs to make yogurt. And you can use just a plain, let me get mine out. I think I have one in here. If you buy a container of yogurt, just a small regular container of yogurt, it can be plain, it can be, I wouldn't use like something with fruit in it or whatever, but just like this is a vanilla one. This can be used, if it has live active cultures in it, it can be used as your yogurt starter. So all you need to make yogurt is milk and a little bit of already pre-made yogurt, okay? So in the Instant Pot, this is real easy because most Instant Pots have a yogurt button on there. And the only thing is you do have to have a special ingredient. You have to have milk that's ultra pasteurized to do that. Now, you can heat regular milk up in this, and I don't know that I'll ever show you how to do that because I don't do it that way. But to use the Instant Pot, you, in order to not have to preheat your milk, you need the ultra pasteurized milk. And I got this on sale at my discount grocery haul, so I need to use it up. And so you just pour the whole container of milk. I don't want this to splash. This kind of carton kind of splashes a little bit. I pour the whole container of milk in there. And then I would need to use a couple tablespoons full of this is my pre-made yogurt. This is plain, but you can, like I said, you can use yogurt bought from the store as long as it has live active cultures. And I'm just going to put a couple tablespoons of this in here. Okay, and now I could be done. I could just turn the pot on and I would have plain unsweetened yogurt. However, I am going to go ahead and sweeten mine today. My family likes the sweet one. Although if you make it plain, you can sweeten it afterwards and just use honey or agave syrup. I wouldn't use plain table sugar or anything like that because I don't think it would flavor it very well. But anyway, if you were just making plain yogurt, that's where you stop. You just put the milk and the yogurt cultures in there. I'm going to go ahead and sweeten mine with like sweetened condensed milk. And this is just milk and sugar. There's nothing else added. And so you put in the whole can for a half gallon of milk. So it doesn't make it real sweet. It just gives it a little bit of sweetness to it. So, like I said, we're getting ready to go to the small animal livestock auction, and I was wondering if you guys, do any of you guys raise chickens or ducks or anything like that? If you do, if you have a little bit of a farm, we don't really have a farm, we just have a few chickens and some rabbits. But we like the little animals. We like taking care of them. We like, we get tons of eggs from our chickens. The bunnies are just so cute. And we raise those for meat and to sell. But anyway, if you do any of that, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you raise and how it's going with them. Okay, so now that is done. All we have to do is put the lid on and let it cook, and I'll show you how we do that here. Okay, I'm just going to put the lid on. You hear that noise it made? That means I put the lid on and it's going to start up. And let me see if I can point you down here. My machine, right here, it has a yogurt button, and I'm just going to hit the yogurt button. And I've got mine set for 8 hours. So in a second, that's going to beep and let me know that it started. Okay, so now it's started and it's going to start counting up. And when it gets to 8 hours, my yogurt will be done. So that's all you need in the Instant Pot. And whenever that's done, I will come back and show you how I strain it and all that stuff. And then now, let me show you a second way that you can make yogurt. If you don't have an Instant Pot, it's okay. You can make yogurt without anything special. You can make yogurt. You don't even have to have special milk to do it on the stovetop. So I'm going to bring you over here, and we'll get started on doing it on the stovetop here. And now I'm not going to make a whole bunch. Usually when I do it on the stovetop, I just do plain yogurt. I've got a little mess on the stove there. So, now when you do it on the stovetop, you don't really need anything special. Okay guys, so I've got my pan out. This is a little bigger than I normally use, but I'm not going to make a whole lot of the plain yogurt, but I want to show you, you don't have to have anything special to make plain yogurt. I've got my regular gallon of milk here. It's just whole milk, and you can use 2% if you would like. I've never tried it with skim. I've heard it don't really work very well, but if you want to try it and let me know how it worked, go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to fill my jar up. This is the jar I'm going to use. So I don't want much more milk than that. Now after you strain it, you do use a lot of liquid, so I will pour more than just this one jar in here. I'm going to go about a jar and about maybe close to half. Okay. So you just need milk for right now, and we're going to heat this milk to 180 degrees. And the reason is that your milk that you get from the store, even if it's pasteurized, still has some maybe bacteria in it, and we don't want that growing in our yogurt. We want to be able to add our safe and natural live active cultures, and we don't want any other bacteria. So we're going to heat this to 180 degrees. And so now if you know anything about milk, when you heat it up, it can scorch on the bottom. So you have to kind of keep an eye on it and stir it so it don't scorch or get too hot. And in a minute, I'm going to bring out my thermometer just because I want to know how hot it is. Now, you can heat it hotter than 180 degrees, but like I said, it could scorch pretty bad. So, but I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so my milk is just about at 180 degrees. I've been stirring it for a little bit now. You want to make sure, if you're using a thermometer to do this, you want to make sure that the tip of your thermometer is not touching the bottom of the pan, because it will give you a false read. So now you can see that my milk is getting a little foamy. That means that it's hot enough now, and I'm going to take it off the burner. And now, when you're making yogurt on the stovetop, of course, you have to heat your milk to 180 degrees to kill any bacteria that's in there. But then it's important that you let it cool back down to around 90 to 100 degrees before you put any of your regular yogurt in it. Because if 180 degrees is going to kill any bad bacteria, it would also kill your live active cultures, and you don't want to do that. So you just take it off the stove and you let it cool back down, and to, like I said, around 90 to 110 degrees. And so I will come back when that's done. Okay guys, so my milk is down to 100 degrees. I don't know if you can see that there. Let me bring this up to you. Maybe you can read it a little better. But it's down to 100 degrees, so I'm ready to put it in my container and do the next step. It's real easy. It's nothing hard about it. You can use whatever container you like. I prefer a glass container, and I'm just going to pour it in this quart mason jar. I've got my my great niece Drea here with me today. That's going to be a full jar there. Okay, so once my milk is cool enough and I poured it in my jar like I got here, I'm going to go ahead and inoculate it with some of my plain yogurt. Just a couple tablespoons here is good. Made my jar a little full here, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of whisk that in. I want to make sure it's stirred up nice and good, so that I don't have any so that this turns into yogurt and it doesn't just sit in the jar with the milk. And where'd my lid go? I'm going to put my lid on, and I'm not going to tighten the ring very tight at all. I'm using a quart jar. I'm just going to barely where it's on there. It doesn't need to be tight. And then I'm going to wrap it in a towel. This will just kind of insulate it a little bit. This is just a regular kitchen towel that I'm wrapping around there to insulate it a little bit. And then I'm just going to stick this little package in my oven. Now, if you use the warming button on your oven, you need to turn it off before you put the yogurt in there, and you need to let your oven cool back down just a bit, because your warming button will make it too hot in there. And you just leave your stove light on, and we're going to come back in about 8 hours, and I'm going to show you what we do next. Well, okay guys, so we had an awesome day at the small animal livestock auction. I'll show you some more footage at the end of the video. Hopefully I can get it edited and stuff. And it's not too awfully bad, because I really couldn't do a lot of filming and a lot of talking and stuff like that.
while we were there. But we did end up, we sold 3 roosters there, and then we bought a set of Americana chickens. There was two hens and 1 rooster of those for our small pen, and then we end up buying 3 rabbits, 2 does and a buck. And so those will go along with all of our other animals and our chickens and bunnies that we have here already. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, I look a hot mess. That's okay. Now since we were there for over 8 hours, so it was a long day. But anyway, I've gotten home and our yogurt is done. So I'm going to show you what we do next. So let me point you down here, if I can get you down without spinning y'all around too much here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn the pot around. My my Instant Pot says end, and that means that the milk mixture has been in there for the full 8 hours, and now it's done. And so now I can take the lid off, and let me get a spoon out and I will show you here. Now you saw that milk went in along with a little bit of my yogurt, my homemade yogurt, and the this one has the sweetened condensed milk in it. But you can see it has made yogurt. Now this yogurt, and all yogurts, this is ready to eat. You can eat it just like it is now. I like to strain mine a little bit to make it a little bit thicker, more like somewhat of a more Greek yogurt type thing. You don't have to do that. You can, like I said, you can eat it just like it is now. So I'm going to show you how to strain the yogurt. I'm going to take the yogurt that I made, the plain yogurt that I made on the stovetop, and we put it in the oven. I can feel that the oven is still just barely warm. This has been in there for more than 8 hours now. And let's see how this turned out. I'm going to get a spoon. I can see that it turned from milk into yogurt. So that's a good thing. That was what we wanted it to do. And so here is that one. You can see that it's no longer milk, that it's now yogurt. And this is perfectly good to eat just like it is. I do like to strain mine to make it more thick, like kind of like a Greek yogurt, especially the plain stuff, because the plain stuff, you can use it to make dips. You can use it to make yogurt cheese. Recently, my husband and I, we like to have sour cream with our tacos when I do a taco night. And let me get a little scraper here. There we go. There it came out. But anyway, I was out of sour cream and didn't realize it. So we ate plain yogurt on our tacos and our taco salad, and it was just fine. It was really good, and it was a great substitute for that. But like I said, I do like to strain my yogurt to make it a little thicker. It is perfectly good to eat right now. You just stir it up, you put it in a bowl, put some honey on it, and eat it just like that. But we're going to strain some of the whey off. And so what I usually do is I tie my, this is a flour sack towel. And what I usually do is just, I tie my flour sack around the yogurt, and then I'll tie it around the handle of a long spoon, just like this, and I'm going to bring up the other corners and tie them up. I tie it just in like a little pouch, just like that, and then I have like a Kool-Aid pitcher or a tea pitcher here. And what I'm going to do, and the reason I use a spoon is because it suspends my little package here. up over the top of the pitcher, so you can see down here in the bottom, that's where all of the whey is going to drain off to. So you can see the amount of whey that I have in this bowl already. But don't get rid of that. You can use this whey. Actually, it's really good for you. Yogurt is a probiotic. It's a fermented food, and it's really good for your gut health. And this whey, you can drain it off of like your plain yogurt, and you can use this whey in like if you want to make biscuits, if you're making sourdough bread, if you're making even yeast bread, you can put it in there, and it works really good. It makes your biscuits nice and tender. But anyway, don't throw that out. Save it in a jar. You can put it in just a, any kind of jar with a lid, and save it in your fridge. And next time if you make biscuits or yeast dough or anything like that, you can use it in there. And there's multiple other uses. You can just drink it. You can also feed this to your chickens and your bunnies, and it's good for them. Well, your chickens it is. I haven't really researched a lot on the bunnies. But anyway, I'm going to put this in the fridge and let the whey come off of it. And in a couple of hours, hopefully it won't be too dark, I will come back and I will show you what it looks like after it's been drained. Okay guys, so it's actually quite late, but I have let my yogurt strain. Now this is the smaller container that I let strain the plain yogurt, and you can see how much whey is in the bottom of the thing here. And this has just only been maybe an hour to an hour and a half after letting it drain, but that's enough to get it to strain in so that it's more like a Greek type thickness than just a plain soft yogurt. And so I'm going to unwrap it here. Sorry, you can see I've taken my shower, and I kind of don't want you to see too much of me tonight, but I just wanted to come back and show you the yogurt. And now you can see how much liquid drained off of it. So of course I had a full quart of the yogurt when it was done, but since I drained a lot of the whey off of it, of course there's not going to be a full quart left of yogurt wise. But like I said, you don't have to strain this. You do not have to make it like Greek yogurt. As soon as you pull it out of the oven, it's ready to eat. And so now you can see it's almost like a cream cheese consistency. But of course, when I get it in the jar and I whisk it back up, it will be softer than that. Actually, I'm going to pour it in this bowl for right now. And like I said, it's almost like a cream cheese consistency at this point. But you will see when I go ahead and whisk it some, that it softens back up just a little bit. But this is more of your Greek yogurt consistency. And so I'm going to scoop it into my jar. And I'm going to add my, actually I'll probably go ahead and scoop it into the jar I already have yogurt in. But I might go ahead and put it into this jar and then just scoop my old stuff in on top. So I use it first, and so I can clean my jar out. But this is a Greek yogurt consistency. This is really good for making like a tzatziki sauce. It's good for making like an herb dip or a chip dip. It's like I said, it's a good substitute for sour cream. And you can also put a little bit of honey in it and eat it like sweet yogurt for breakfast with some granola or whatever. So anyway, there you go. That's homemade yogurt, plain yogurt, and then and this is the whey off of it. Like I said, you want to save that. It's good probiotics. It is healthy for you. It's healthy for your animals. You can use it in place of like buttermilk when you're making biscuits or sourdough, things like that. Okay, and now here, this, I've poured off the liquid a little bit at a time, but it's still got quite a bit of liquid in it. So I probably am going to let that strain overnight. And because we like our yogurt a little bit thicker. So I'm going to let this one go ahead and go overnight. But this is the entire process of making yogurt. You can make it with plain regular milk on the stovetop. You heat your milk to 180 degrees. You let it cool back down to about 100 degrees, and you inoculate it with some live active cultures from regular yogurt, and you stick it in a warm oven, the oven that just has the light on, for about 8 hours. And then if you want to do it like mine, you strain it and you have like a Greek style plain yogurt. So that's all there is to yogurt. Yogurt is really simple to make. This has no added preservatives. It has no additives whatsoever that's not healthy for you. It's all natural. It's a probiotic cultured yogurt. It's a wonderful health food, and it's really good. It's a lot better. It's a lot tastier than the stuff you get at the store. And if you do make it on the stove and you're heating your milk up, if you have vanilla beans, you can put a slice of vanilla bean and put it in the milk and make vanilla flavored yogurt. That would be really good. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll make your own yogurt. Good night. Just up there is the auction house. Well, Livestock auction house. In a minute, I'm going to show you what we have in the trunk of our vehicle. Well, not in the trunk. We have a hatchback. We didn't lock them in the trunk, but I'll show you what we have for sale here in just a second. Looks like there's a pretty good turnout at the auction today, so I'll be back in just a second. So we are here at the auction. We've got 3 of our bantam roosters that we're going to be selling, and we have what is this one, the red one, Dad? It's a Rhode Island red. You can't hardly see them in the cage too good, but see if I can, kinds of chickens in here. Let me get my fingers out of the way. Oh, there's lots of chickens for sale, and I know you can hear all the roosters. Oh, look at this big one. Isn't he pretty? He's got black and white spots. That is a
They have cinnamon queens here.
well, they have some cinnamon queens over here. They're the kind of reddish color ones. But that one, the black and white one, I can't remember the name of them. They're, woo, he's a loud one. Some ducks. 2 little ducks for sale. Guys, they got some bunnies for sale, and they got their little bunnies and guinea pigs. That's a bear. Bunnies. Here we got some more. These are silkies, it looks like. Silky chickens. Some other little chickens. We got pretty little ducks for sale. Okay guys, so we bought a set of Americanas at the thing. We have a rooster and 2 hens. They're bannies for our small cage. And then we also bought this white Californian rabbit.
It's a buck.
That's a buck, so he's breeding stock. And we've got another couple rabbits up front, so maybe I'll show them to you when we get home. A couple New Zealand orange rabbits, and these are does. So there's 2 of them in there, although you can only really see one. So anyway, they're so cute.